Okay, this video is for anybody who owns a Redcat. This is a BackDraft 3.5. Now the BackDraft 8E, the Aftershock, and the Earthquake, and they all have the same frame, same suspension systems. The biggest problem with these cars are the hub carriers. They like to break because they're made out of some super cheap plastic, and here's a whole bunch that I have. Now, you're going to want to strengthen them up. You don't want to do this stuff before you even run the car. They say ready to run, but the RTR really stands for ready to repair. So, first thing you're going to want to do is make sure you got your gear meshed. You're going to want to loosen all four of these up and slide your motor over tight onto the spur gear and tighten all four of them back up. After you have all four tightened back up, you're going to want to get yourself some Loctite. Loosen one screw at a time, pull it out, put some Loctite on it, screw it in, one at a time. So you're going to also want to do any other screws around the engine area so that they don't vibrate loose. You're also going to want, okay, now if you don't do that, you're going to end up with something like this after about, I don't know, this happened to me about 15 minutes. The spur gear just stripped out, and I did not have an extra one. So what I did is I went to the local hobby shop and found this Traxxas, part number, I can't read it, 3954. There's only, what, 285 you can see there? This one matched up perfect, and that's what I have in the car now still, and it's just holding strong with the proper mesh. Now, that hole, as you can see, is too big. So you're going to want to get this spur gear, which I would put Traxxas spur gear instead of another stock Redcat. They also sell these at the local hobby shop. These are wheel bushings, and one of these will fit perfectly right inside there and fit on your transmission. So with these and those, you can run these forever. You can also use these for wheel spacers later on, like I use them on my Jado. And the Jado's right there. Now, you're going to want to, once you have all that done, you're going to want to strengthen your hubs. And I did this by wrapping electrical tape around them and putting a zip tie around it to keep it tight. Now, that'll allow, if you bump something, it'll allow it to flex, but not flex so far that it snaps. Okay? Now, another thing you're going to want to do, which is a good idea, Redcat has just regular pins in there to hold that on. See, I got some new ones right here. These pins, those go through, these are actually for here, but they're similar to the pins I have running through there. What I would suggest you do is pull those pins out and replace those pins with something like this. A long screw, which will thread in to everything and keep everything in place better than just a smooth pinwheel. This is about the right size. That would fit perfect. That will add a lot of strength. So if you combo this screw with the tape and this, you have yourself an extremely tough front end. Now, I did it this way so you can see it in the video, but you're going to want to use a black zip tie and put the lock down toward on the underside. With the black tape and the black zip tie, you won't even be able to tell that you have a zip tie on there. Nobody's going to be like, oh, what's that gaudy looking thing you have on the front end there, you know, because they're not going to be able to see it. Now, there's a few ways to fix broken parts. I had a steering linkage, it snapped, and I super glued it, and it held up forever until I got the new aluminum one. Now, here's a rear hub carrier. Snapped, as you can see. The easy way to fix these is with a drill, some super glue, and a tiny little screw, such as that. You're going to want to take this, line it up to where it goes, take a drill and drill a tiny hole down through the top, but don't go all the way through into where your bearings go. Then take it apart, put some good super glue in there, not no cheap stuff, and then run this screw down right through. And the screw combo with the super glue, you have yourself an extremely tough part that will now hold up for a long time. Also, you're going to want to make sure that your air filter is oiled real well. I want to make sure that the air filter is oiled up real good. Which I actually have a second one around here. Whoops, I just ripped it. Awesome. And you see I put these on here and painted up the exhaust. But you're going to want to do all this before your maiden voyage. And make sure you break your engine in real good. The plastic on these Redcats just seems extremely cheap. Everything on this thing is just not what I expected. But I tell you what, this car is super fast. This car runs super good and looks super cool. Except for those stock wheels. Now, I took my stock wheels off and replaced them with these. These look sweet on the car. One other thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get the hump pack for this car, so you're not running the 4 AA's. Now this is a hump pack out of my Jado. It doesn't quite fit, but it fits good enough once you put the top on. I had ordered the right hump pack, but it just has not come yet. These cars will eat up the AA batteries within 2 runs, and they will be dead, and you will go through batteries like you will not believe. And once the batteries start going dead, you'll know, because you'll turn the wheel, and the signal on the throttles and the steering will get confused. So when you turn the wheel, it'll hit the throttle. And you turn the wheel the other way, and it'll hit the brakes. So you'll just be turning, and next thing you know, everything's going full throttle, taking off on you. And it's the easiest way to just crash into something. So spend the money, get the hump pack for it, and it'll just be a lot better in the long run. Now you're also going to want to get either a drill start or a roto start or some kind of starter, because the pull starts are garbage. I've already taken this particular pull start apart twice and fixed it, and it's still not what it should be, because the spring is a piece of crap. So you're going to want to do that. There's lots of other Traxxas and HPI parts that will interchange with the Redcat. You just got to match them up. Go to a local hobby shop. Anything that won't are the hubs and the hub carriers and that sort of thing. This is one other thing I did to waterproof the servo controller. Now I took this little plastic baggie and I doubled it up like a sandwich bag, wrapped up what's inside here in that, and then I wrapped black electrical tape around it, and I stuffed it in there. Then I took the top off, which I can't retake it off, otherwise I would have to redo the seal. But you get the idea. And I took a hot glue gun, and I ran hot glue all the way around it, and while it was still warm, I pressed it on there and stuck this through. Now that is 100% waterproof in there. So you can run it through water, snow, ice, everything. It's really cold outside now, and there's water and snow outside, and I just bash this thing through the water. Never have any problems at all whatsoever. You're also going to want to make sure you keep your car clean.